What's up, everybody? It's your boy Bobby with Gator Game Podcast, and I am here with my co-hosts Daryl and Lucas. How you guys doing tonight?
Just
Doing
ready for the
great.
big game. Just ready for the big game. We haven't had this big a game in what 2 years?
Yeah, this is a huge game in the swamp. But y'all, thank y'all for watching, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel Gator Gang Network, and subscribe to it so we can get those builders up so we can be able to go live on YouTube. But we got a showdown in the swamp at 3:30 on CBS. Number one, Alabama comes into the swamp. Daryl, let me get your how are you feeling about this game?
Man, I'm excited. I've been excited all week. Uh, every day I can feel my blood pressure going up. I get amped for these big games. Um, I'm just ready. I'm ready to be down there and tailgating and watching Florida and Alabama play. It's a really big matchup. We haven't had this big of a matchup in a while. I mean, we have not had a number one team in the swamp for a while. So it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be insane.
How was this first set? The last time number one came to the swamp was Miami in 2002
Wow, going
with
back
Andre,
to '02. That's
with Andre
crazy.
Johnson and all those guys, Ken Dorsey and
So Alabama comes into this game as a 14.5 point favorite,
which I don't get.
and I'm feeling like the Gators are better than that. I'm feeling like the home field, the swamp, the atmosphere. This game is going to be a whole lot tighter than that. I don't think it's going to be no 14.5 point. But I mean, this is why we play the game. We've seen some crazy things happen. I mean, look at
We
up there
played
in
to win the
Tallahassee,
game.
where with Florida State and what happened to them last week. So anything can happen. I always got to take a shot at Florida State when I get the chance to. But Alabama comes into this game number one team in the country, and Florida is number 11 in the country, and it's going to be a wild one. But I mean, we're going to get right into the offense, and I know the biggest question that I have, and that I feel like all of Gator Nation has, is will we see an improved Emory Jones? And Daryl, I'm gonna start with you on this one. How do you feel about Emory Jones after the first two games with four
Well,
interceptions?
Well, I mean, obviously the first two games, two interceptions. Not the best, but I do believe that in this game, this game right here, that EJ is going to improve dramatically compared to what he has the last two games. So he will improve. I do believe he's going to go out and have a pretty decent game.
Lucas, how are you feeling about Emory
I
Jones in this game? I know that that's your guy.
I know that's my guy, but at the same time, he better play better because if he doesn't, we're screwed. So, but I think he's gonna play out of his mind.
I think I want to see Emory Jones come out there and feel comfortable. The biggest thing that I want to see in his game is the timing and knowing where these routes are going to break and knowing where the receiver is going to be. I mean, I watched the film breakdown, and Emory is missing things pre-snap. He's not seeing the route. His timing's off. I mean, he just waits a little too long, and we can't have that.
There's only room for improvement, Bobby.
I get that there's only room for improvement, but I'm hoping that this week they've studied the film, and Dan Mullen has shown Emory, hey, look, this right here, you got to see that and check.
Can you let the people comment? Sorry, but can you let the people commenting either have them put their name in there?
Oh yeah, those of y'all who are commenting on the post, go to the link that's in the section there. Click that, and that way it'll be able to show your name, or in your comment, put your name so we can address your comment and address you by name.
Somebody says EJ going ball out, so trust the process. I do trust Dan Mullen.
I'm gonna bring that up here because I feel the playbook is going to be more open. I feel Emory Jones is going to be more.
He said that in the presser. Did you guys? And did I not say that after week one? I'm like, the reason why he didn't show everything after week one is because he is holding something back for Bama.
Oh, it's Zach. It's
Yeah.
Zach. Zach is the one commenting. So
All right.
gotta talk to Zach,
That's
man.
right, Zach.
It's been a while since we've seen him or had him on.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to get him on one of these nights when we do the podcast here. But after seeing Emory Jones, I know he's better than this, as we alluded to in the pre pod. Um, he's been in the system for a couple of years now, and he should be a lot more seasoned than the way he's looking right now going into this third game against Alabama. Because 4 interceptions is not something you want to see from your guy that's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at Anthony Richardson, and this is the tape that I have a problem with Anthony Richardson is, yes, he's very explosive and he can do a lot of things, but his reps are down.
Yeah.
I feel like even though he had a quick drive that he got the touchdown, put him out there on that next series and see how he handles another series instead of putting Emory out there and letting Emory do his thing.
Yeah. So we talked about this a little bit, Monday, and Dan mentioned this too. Is that we as the fans, we see Richardson and we're wowed by him, but when you actually look at the plays, like where he ran for the first down or ran for a touchdown, there were reads that were missed, and you can.
Yeah.
So he's missing reads just like EJ is. He just makes it look better because he's got the wow factor with his feet, and that's the difference. That's the difference. And like you said, the reps aren't there, so his stats are going to look amazing if he's only throwing 3 times, but they're both for touchdowns. So that the stats are going to look better than what EJ is if he's not playing as much.
Yes, Zach, we can see your comments now. Thank you for doing that, and I hope he has the best game on Saturday. And we're all hoping the same thing. We all want to see what we anticipate for Emory Jones to what he can do. I mean, we've seen him throw an absolute dime to Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an absolute dime. So we know the potential is there. We know the accuracy is there. He's very good at throwing on the run. And that's one of the things that I kind of want to lead into. How do you feel that our offensive line is going to hold up to Bama's defensive line?
I'll put it this way: if our offensive line plays the way they have done the first 2 games, especially running the ball, I'll feel way better. And we need to get off to a fast start.
Yeah, I do feel that the offensive line is much more improved than what it's been in the years past. I believe that we're running the ball more efficiently. And there is, I can't think of the name, but there is one guy out there that's got to step it up a little bit more. He's missed a couple guys on the edge. And but some of that could be just protections, right? The quarterback's got to call the protection correctly. And if he does that, he gets those pre-snaps reads good. I think that offensive line is going to hold up really well.
I really hope they do, because we need the offensive line to step up in that right side. Delance really got to get a body in there and hold him for a second. Emory Jones is very mobile. Anthony Richardson is very mobile. But in the first 2 games, and I know it's not against Alabama or a big team, but the offensive line was holding. They were doing their thing, and I was happy with what I was seeing. But can they do that against a big talent, this weekend? And we're just going to find that out. I mean, it's a big question: is can we win the game in the trenches? Because that's where I feel this game is going to be won. Because a couple of stats that I have is Florida's passing game in the SEC. We come into this game only passing with 456 yards. That's 11th in the SEC. And Bama has 620 yards. They are 3rd in the SEC. So in the passing game,
is that total yards or
no? That's passing. That's passing right there in the SEC. When it comes to rushing, Florida is first with 763 yards, and Bama only rushes for 305 total yards. They're 10th. So in total offense, we've put up 1,219 yards. Alabama's only put up 925, and that's only fifth in the SEC. So there's a couple categories that Florida is actually ahead of Alabama in the rushing department, and Jacob Copeland is the leading, a higher receiver than any of theirs. So this matchup is going to be huge, and there's a lot of intel details that a lot of people aren't even talking about. And the fact that I know Alabama's a great team, but if you're judging off the first two games, then it's going to be a really good matchup.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we win the game. I think our defense steps up with 2 turnovers, and we win the game late.
I think it'd be a great one. But flipping to the defensive side of the ball, because what I want to know is we've seen an improved defense for the first two games. But again, that's not SEC play. So how well will this Florida defense match up to Alabama's passing game? Daryl, what do you think about that?
I'm going to tell you right now that the defensive line, the front four, Carter and them guys are going to wreak havoc on Alabama's offensive line. They are going to get pressures. They've been waiting for this game since December of last year. They're going to put pressure on them.
Carter
and
even
it's
said, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Carter even said the Alabama game is why he came back.
Yes, he came back for that game, and he is going. They're going to play, and I do believe that our defensive line has got to step up. The front four has got to get pressure. Got a young quarterback at Alabama still. He may be a great passer, but he's still young. So we got to make him think quick and fast.
Yeah, I agree. Here's one of the comments. I'm a little worried about the defense. If we can contain and not let the receivers get behind them, we should be okay.
Yeah.
And just like you said, with Jason Marshall on one corner, Avery Helm on the other corner, these are two young cornerbacks that are really, really good. The potential is there, but it's a learning curve for them, and it's getting them them to play the ball instead of the receiver in certain situations, and to know kind of had that feel of where the ball is at by knowing your receiver. So I think these things will come, and with a lot of film study, they'll get there. But this is a big test for them,
and
that's
why it's so.
I may or may not have to dip out just based. I have another pod to do, so I might have to dip out.
Okay, that's cool. Lucas, if you got to do that, then that's all right, buddy. We'll catch you on the post game podcast.
I got a couple more minutes. I'm just letting you guys know.
Okay.
So defensively, though, just to touch on, it's why it's so important for that defensive line is because of the inexperience at cornerbacks. Well, they are going to need help against the wide receivers of Alabama, and so if our front four can get the pressure, that allows our linebackers and them guys to give a little bit more help towards them. But I think we're going to be just fine. I think we're going to be right where we need to be.
Okay. Zach says David Waters said that their quarterback is a 1 for 6 on throws over 20 yards. I think Anthony Richards had
we got
2 of them. Just
we got to make him. We got to make him think faster than what he's supposed to. He's a young quarterback in the swamp. Got to make him think quick. Got to get pressure on him.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on this comment here. I know damn well EJ can't be throwing the ball near 5 defenders like he did in the end zone against South Florida. That was a big play that I was watching the film study on that play, and the way he's reading it and he's looking that way, I can't even believe that he would even try to throw that way. I mean, he had some room to run and make something happen. I just don't like seeing him force it in that situation.
Yeah, that's a pre-read snap mistake right there. And that's where he's struggling. Is before the snaps even snapped to him, the ball's even snapped to him. He's got to be able to read that defense and where those guys are going.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so when we look at these quarterbacks, since we're talking about the quarterbacks right now, Lucas, I'm gonna ask you this before you go, buddy. Who do you think has the bigger day, Emory Jones or Anthony Richardson?
My money is on Anthony Richardson,
Why?
just because I said it last week. I just think he runs the offense better through the first two games. And I think
I did like the way that he looked comfortable. Daryl, do you feel like that Anthony Richardson, when he comes into the game, they look more well oiled? Like I don't know, I can't explain. I feel like they can just say, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and he can kind of just make it
I'm gonna
happen.
I'm gonna get off, guys. I'll see you on Monday for the post pod.
All right, Lucas, you have a good night, buddy.
All right.
All right. Hey, your pick. What's your pick, Lucas? Oh, he already left. No, I do think that Richardson has that wow factor. I mean, he's going to be the guy that the fans are going to look at every play, and I do believe that he's going to come in a couple drives and throw Alabama off. I said earlier in the week that I love the fact that we're playing two quarterbacks. Some people don't. I like it. I think it makes Alabama spend extra time on a guy that on two quarterbacks. You only get so much time to prepare for this game during the week, and it's very important that they focus on the right person. And Anthony Richardson is definitely going to make an impact in this game.
Yeah, Anthony is more explosive, like anything can and will happen. Exactly. I mean, there was a play there where he should have gotten sacked, but he was able to wiggle his way out and make the play to Copeland down the field. So I mean, the play is not over with Anthony Richardson. He's so explosive, and Alabama having to film up on Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson. And I feel that Florida has run a very vanilla offense. And I feel like this weekend, a lot of the playbook will get used. And, the dust that's on those pages from not using the first 2 weeks, we'll use them this week.
Yep. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see two quarterbacks on the field at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of crazier running schemes and a pass, and a pass. So we'll see what happens. But I do think that there's going to be some more running with the
See, we
playbook this
had the
week versus
big
what we've seen.
question. We had the big question in Gator Nation of who should be quarterback number one, who should start the game. Being a starter is this big thing to everybody. So, like you said, why not just put Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson to start the game? There you go. It's a win-win for everybody. Both of them started. I just say it's about who can finish the game. I mean, I'm all about, like, if your starter's thrown 3 interceptions and your backup quarterback has come in and played great. I mean, come to the fourth quarter, who do you want in the game? Do you want your starter who's struggled and made mistakes, or do you want your backup who has looked kind of flawless in the offensive scheme for the limited reps that he has gotten?
Yeah, I mean, Emory is going to take the first snap. He is going to be considered the starter. So people might as well get used to that, unless he gets hurt or something, which we do not want. But he will take the first snap and be considered the starter of the football game. Does that mean he'll finish the game? I don't know. We'll see. I think he'll be impactful, but I think both of them are going to be impactful.
I mean, we play a lot of situational football in the first 2 games to kind of prepare us for this moment, put things on film. So I'm really excited to what that's going to look like. But before we get off here, Daryl, we talked about it pre podcast, and we got some viewers on here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor on your pick for this game.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys that look, Florida has a really good chance of winning this football game. They are going to play their hearts out. And I want you all to know something. I picked Georgia to win last year, and I did that for a reason. And we went out in Jacksonville and we won. I'm going to tell you all right now, I don't think the Swamp can be loud enough to intimidate the Alabama quarterback. So if you guys can hear me, you guys got to make it loud because I don't think you guys can make it loud there. And I think Alabama is actually going to win, and I'm going to go 38-21 Alabama. I'm sorry. Somebody's got to be the bad guy, but Alabama's going to win.
You know, y'all heard us take. Y'all jump on them in the comments. I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'm not even gonna be the one to do it. But I'm
Hey,
just gonna say
listen.
this. This is a huge game in the swamp. And this comes down to what happened in that SEC championship game last year. And players came back for this, and a lot is on the line. And to say that you're going to come to Gainesville on our home field, the swamp, and think you're going to come in there and run shit, no, it's not going to happen. Alabama, the buck stops here. Florida's going to come in, and we are going to run all over Alabama. And the thing is, the weather will be an issue, and I think that's going to help Florida more than it's going to help Alabama. And I feel like the score is going to be 38-31. Florida wins.
All right. Look, I hope Florida wins. I'll be pulling for Florida. I'm going to go down to the game. Of course I am. I'm going to be pulling for them. They should win in the swamp. I have to give – somebody had to be the bad guy and pick Alabama, but unfortunately it was me. But I do think Florida's going to go out there and dominate, and we're going to see a good game.
Those of y'all who are commenting the score, there's actually on the Gator Gang Facebook page, there is a contest to enter for a chance to win a free hat or a shirt that's got the Gator Gang stuff on it. So y'all enter that contest for a chance to win. The question, I should have put the question out in the where I can bring it up, but the question is, how well will Florida's defense hold Alabama's passing? So y'all go and jump on there and answer that question for a chance to win. I mean, it's a great hat. I mean, love it.
Before we get off, look, we got to take the diapers off, put the big boy pants on because we in SEC play. So we got to play some football Saturday.
And we start SEC play with the number one team in the nation in the swamp. So training wheels are off. I mean, it's go big or go home. And this game right here, look, there are chances that we could lose this game. But if we play this game competitively and we can see how far we are from Alabama, we can kind of – everything is still ahead of us. We can still see them in the SEC championship game for a rematch and be better than we are now. So, this game, there's a lot on the line. But to me, the pressure is not on Florida. The pressure is on number one Alabama. I believe that's where the pressure is. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a huge game, and I'm looking forward to. I wish we could kick it off right now.
He'll be here before we know it. So,
if Florida loses, how far do you think that we will drop?
I don't think we'll drop very much. I don't think we're going to lose by crazy points. I mean, I guess if we get blown out, which I don't foresee that happening, but you are losing to the number one team. You are losing to the team who wins national championships years after year. So I don't think you'll drop as far as you think. And it depends on who else loses this weekend. There's a lot of other big games this weekend that could determine where we fall, but maybe one or two spots.
Right, and as Zach says, let it all out on the field. I mean, this is what the recruits come to Florida for. Is these big games to showcase their talent and to put the world on notice that the Gators are a force to be reckoned with, and we got to show it. We got to bring it.
Yep.
I mean, that's just what it comes down to. So it's our time to shine. Come Saturday at 3:30. It's strap up. So. You know how we do it when we get off here. If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait.
Go Gators. Beat Bama.
Yeah.